Hi, I'm Graham Lewis, and in this video we're going to look at fractions and dividing fractions, and this can be a bit tricky, not a bot tricky as I wrote there. Okay, so I'm going to start with what does division actually mean. So 6 divided by 2 we all know is 3. That's because division is the reverse of multiplication. If I add 2 together 3 times, I get 6. And we know that 3 lots of 2 is 6, so therefore 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. It's just multiplication backwards, so that repetitive addition. So now let's think about that in terms of 6 divided by a half. So what you're saying, when you've got dividing by 2, you're saying how many times does 2 go into 6? And 2 goes into 6 3 times, because 2 add 2 add 2 makes 6. Now we're thinking, how many times do I have to add a half together to get 6? Clearly the answer is 12, isn't it? A half add, I'll just pause the video, because if I add a half together 12 times, it makes 6, because every half add a half makes a whole, and obviously I've got 6 wholes there, and so 6 divided by half is 12. Okay, so 6 divided by a half is 12, which also is the answer to 6 times 2 over 1. That's interesting. So we know that 6 divided by a half is the same as 6 times 2 over 1. Can you see what's happened there? Dividing by a half has changed into multiplying by its reciprocal, flip the fraction over, 2 over 1. And that's it. That's how to multiply fractions. Sorry, how to divide fractions. Don't do it. Multiply them instead. So when I get a question like 6 divided by a half, what I do is change the divided by a half to multiply by the reciprocal. And then you just think of it as 6 over 1 times 2 over 1, which is 12 over 1, which is 12. Let's try another one. Let's do 10 divided by a third. So 10 divided by a third, pause the video, try it. Don't do the division, do it as a multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to go through it. So hopefully you've got it. When you've got 10 divided by a third, multiply by the reciprocal. You can change the 10 to 10 over 1 if you want. And so I've got 10 times 3 is 30, and 1 times 1 is 1, so my answer is 30. And that's how to do division. Change it into a multiplication. Let's do a harder one. Let's do 10 divided by 2/3. So 10 divided by 2/3. Pause the video, try it yourself. Here we go. So 10, leave the 10 as it is, change dividing 2/3 by timesing by 3 over 2. You can change the 10 to 10 over 1. 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 2 is 2. I get 30 over 2, which is 15. Of course, here I could have actually cancelled, couldn't I? I've got 10 over 1 times 3 over 2. 10 over 2 simplifies to 5 over 1, getting me to the answer as 15 over 1 more quickly. So you can still use your old cancelling tricks as well. Now let's try doing division with combining that with a fraction divided by a fraction. So let's do 5/6 divided by, let's say, I don't know, 2/3. So you leave the first number the same, just as we did before. We don't change the 5/6, but instead of dividing by 2/3, we multiply by 3 over 2. That's it. You change it into a multiplication. Notice the first number always stays the same, whatever it is. The second number changes to multiplied by the reciprocal, which means flip the fraction. Now, can you cancel anything here? Yes, we can. 3 over 6 is the same as 1 over 2. I think that's it. 5 times 1 is 5 on top. 2 times 2 on the bottom is 4. And 4 goes into 5 one time. Remainder 1. So 5/4 is 1 1/4. So that's how to do that one. Now, let's have a look at mixed numbers. So I've got 2.5 divided by 3 2/3. Basically, make them improper. Make them top heavy, and then you're in business. So that's the rule here. So first job, write this as something over 2 and write this as something over 3. Pause the video and then I'll go through it. Okay, so hopefully you've got this right. So 2 is obviously 4 over 2. Add the half is 5 over 2. And you know 5 over 2 is 2.5, so it makes sense. 3, counting as thirds, is 9 thirds, plus 2 thirds is 11 thirds. By the time you've got to this video, I know you've practiced this a lot and are good at that. So you change it into that kind of a fraction. Top heavy, I call them. That's what we call them in Britain, or improper fractions. So now, leave the first number the same, multiply by the reciprocal. Can I simplify anything? Oh, no, I can't. Tricky. So 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times 11, 22ths, and that's our answer, 15 22ths. Let's just do one more for the road, just so you've really got the hang of it. Let's do 3 2/3 divided by 4 6/7. Just trying to make a hard one here for you. All right, off you go on your own. Try that trickly trout and see if you can get it right. Pause the video, try it, and then I'll go through it. Okay, let's go through it and see if you got it right. So 3 is 9 thirds, add 2 thirds is 11 thirds. Just check it. 3 goes into 11, 3 times, remainder 2, yep. Divided by 4. 7, 14, 21, 28. So 4 I know is 28 over 7. And then I've got the 6, 7. And so 28 add 6 is 34 sevenths. Check you got it right. 7 goes into 34. 4 times, remainder 6. Yeah, looking good. Now, don't do the division. Change it into multiplying by the reciprocal. Let's see if we can simplify anything. I don't think so. So on top we've got 77. This is a bit of a trickly trout, isn't it? And on the bottom, 3 times 34, doing that in my head. 3 times 30 is 90. 3 times 4 is 12, so 102. Woo, sneaky one. Nice one to end on. And there we go. So hopefully you got that right, 77 over 102. If not, try it again, and that's it. One last video for my final fraction series, which is mixing all of this with a BEDMAS problem. Thanks very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was helpful.